In the last 5 years, I've been getting on average, let's say 150 grand in delivery contracts every single year. Okay. And so that's really about, let's say, 15, or sometimes it can be 10 to 15 $1,000 a month, give or take. But it's all about seasonality. So in today's conversation, I want to share with you a few about my experiences getting 150K in delivery contracts every single year for the last 5 years. One thing you need to really understand here is that when you think about delivery contracts, you are talking about contracts first. In other words, when the shipper needs to actually ship something, they have to call you, right? So there is a contract. So you're not sitting there actually chasing gigs on delivery apps on the internet. No, you have a contract with a party, with a third party, with a shipper, like I said, that actually guarantees you a certain level of revenue. Now, this might be 10 grand, this might be 12 grand, this might be 15 grand every single month, give or take. But at least you have a base, you have a revenue base to really construct your profitability on. So everything starts with delivery contract. So what are those contracts? Let me talk about them real fast. So delivery contracts, sometimes known as delivery orders, they are basically, think of them, they are basically agreements that provide for the delivery of goods. Okay, so you sign a contract with uh, with a retailer, you sign a contract with a shipper, we sign a contract with a freight broker, you sign a contract with a dispatcher that really guarantees you a certain level of revenue. Now, those types of agreement typically don't specify the exact quantities needed to be delivered because there is some kind of flexibility baked into the contract. Okay, so but what you have with delivery contracts, you have usually minimum and maximum amounts. So what these agreements do specify are the clauses and terms that define the conditions of the contract, including the cadence of the deliveries and how much customers will pay. So in my case, actually, basically, I had a late delivery clause in all my contracts. I do have delivery terms in all my contracts. Okay, so that's actually the cadence and method of the delivery. So it can be bi-monthly, bi-weekly. It really depends. And also in my delivery contracts, I have the payment terms. So payment terms, shippers usually pay me within 7 days after I deliver the goods. Okay, I don't do the monthly thing. I just want to be paid as soon as possible. So in terms of me getting 150K in delivery contracts, by the way, I usually cover the New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut area. So that's the tri-state area that I focus on. That's my geography for making that 150K. Okay. So what I usually do is that basically I always choose which delivery services I will offer. So when I'm trying to really get new contracts, new delivery contracts, I'm very picky as to which one I really want to focus on. Why? Because believe it or not, some delivery services can be money losers. Okay, like you drive all day around town, and you realize you're just wasting money, you're just wasting time, and you're wasting your fuel too. Okay, so you're wasting your gas. That's the last thing you want. So you got to be really picky when it comes to delivery services. So I'm very picky when I pick delivery services, the one that I really want to focus on. Okay, so it's important to understand that for me, especially in the tri-state area that I work on, New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, I'm paying attention to those services that I can scale real fast. In other words, if for any reason I'm tired or I just want to help, I just want help from another driver, I can really outsource some of the work. And then, in other words, I can hire someone to actually help me out. Okay, so basically, when you think when I think about the delivery services I'm offering or I want to offer, I'm actually I'm actually restricting my market. Okay, I'm identifying potential customers. I'm actually being more serious about my marketing plan. I always try to stay away from things that require too much regulation. For instance, I don't do hazmat. Okay, I don't do hazmat because hazmat can be a little complicated. I don't do perishable goods. I don't even do reefer, by the way. I don't do reefer. I mean, sometimes I do reefer, but I'm not really focusing on reefer that much, okay? But I do everything except hazmat and perishable goods, okay? Or some of those delivery contracts where you have to drive to the Port Authority of New York, New Jersey. Like if you have to get into the maritime sector, they'll ask you a more clearance, okay? And that can be a little complicated too. So I don't do that. So the first thing I do is I always choose which delivery services I will offer. Another thing that I do that has allowed me to get 150K in delivery contracts in the last 5 years, every single year in the last 5 years, is actually reaching out to local companies. I'm very good at reaching out to local companies. Listen, I don't care. I don't care what people say. I'm not shy. Okay. When it comes to marketing my business, I'll pick up the phone and I will work the phones like crazy, crazy. Like I had days where I had 20, 25, or even 100 names that I had to call those local companies. See, the whole thing is when it comes to telemarketing, because I call it telemarketing, it's really telemarketing. Now, you might say, well, when do you have time to drive? Well, I have organized myself so much that on my down days, that those are the days that I call I call new prospective customers, because I can't be working 7 days a week. I'll be tired like crazy, right? So there are days where I work big time, 10 hours, 12 hours, and there are days that I don't work at all, or there are days that I just work 2 or 3 hours. That's the good thing about delivery contracts. You have some kind of flexibility. You know what you want to do. You know days that are really good for you in terms of revenue and days that are just a little slow. Okay. So when I reach out to local companies, I call them, and I have my pitch ready. And the thing is, the good thing about telemarketing is that when you call 100 companies, for instance, and even if you have a 1% conversion rate, that's 1%. That's one company that will give you the contract that you want, right? So my average has been around 2 to 5% conversion rates. So for every 100 companies that I call, at least 2 to 5 have decided to work with me, have decided to actually give me delivery contracts, and that's all I need anyway. I don't need much. I don't need much. Okay, so don't be scared. Don't be scared to reach out to local companies, pick up the phone, and sell yourself. Okay, you have to understand here is that a lot of companies have delivery contracts with large distributors such as FedEx or Amazon or UPS. But the thing is, there is a certain segment of the market that is not really served, and that's actually your luck. Okay, that's the kind of market you want to really you want to step in, and that's the market that you want to cover. That's the market that you want to serve. The third thing that I do is that the reason I'm able to get that much money in delivery contracts is that I do have a website. Now, I'm not going to publish my website on this show for other reasons, but it's important to understand that. I mean, the reason why I don't want to publish my website is because I don't want other delivery contracts, other delivery services to actually steal my ideas. Okay, but my point is what? My point is that I optimize my website big time. Okay, my website is actually a mobile friendly. So those local companies that I spoke to you a little earlier about, they can actually check out my business on from their mobile phone. Okay, those entrepreneurs. Okay, so the website is optimized. Is you have responsive design, and the funny thing is, I don't spend that much money. So when I say optimize your website, I'm not speaking about phew, spending that much money. You don't have to spend that much money because the thing is, you have some website builders, no code website builders that will give you let's say a pre-built website. All you have to do just to change the logo, adjust colors here and there. And the funny thing, you don't have to actually reach out to a third party to do it for you. You can do it yourself, and you don't need to be a web designer because there is no code, there is no programming needed. The templates are already there. Just pick a template that you like, and just do some adjustments here and there, and that's it. But where I spend a lot of my time, and what has allowed me to see a constant a constant and stable, okay, influx of revenue is the SEO that I use, search engine optimization. So I actually have filled up my website with certain keywords that are really appeal to the kind of prospective customers I want to do business with. Okay, you have to understand the tri-state area in New York, like New York, New Jersey, Connecticut. That's a very competitive metropolis. Okay, that's a metro area that's very competitive on many fronts. And when it comes to delivery contracts, it's even more competitive. So I have identified a few keywords that are not that competitive, where I can just slip in and actually gain some market share. Because if I were to go with those keywords that are very competitive, I'm never gonna rank. My website is never gonna rank because the biggies, the UPS, the GHL, the USPS, the FedEx, they have already conquered that part of the market. So I'm going for those low hanging fruits, those low competition keywords, and so I was able to rank on multiple low competition keywords. So that has been really fantastic for me. Another way I'm able to generate 150K in delivery contracts every single year for the last 5 years is actually through the use of technology. See, the thing is, I'm a big fan of using technology because I realize that you only have 24 hours in a day, you only have 365 days in a year, and you can't really duplicate your time. Otherwise, you'll go crazy. You'll be just tired. Okay, so one thing I do is improve my route efficiency all the time because I know I have 24 hours only in a day, and maybe I have 8 hours, 8 working hours. Okay, if I don't use software to improve route efficiency, I'll be spending a lot of time in traffic, and God knows how can be really bad in New York. I mean, just that's just crazy. If you take the George Washington Bridge, for instance, whew, like rush hour, don't even talk about it. Okay, does it or the Lincoln Tunnel? Let's say you have a delivery contract and you got to go from Jersey to New York, and you go through the Lincoln Tunnel at 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock in the morning. You could be stuck for 4 hours. Okay, on a bad day. On a good day, you could be stuck for like 1 hour. So I'm just speaking for those who are familiar with New York, New Jersey, Connecticut. But this could be applicable to any other area. Okay, LA, Chicago, or like Miami, whatever. The thing you have to understand is that software allows you to improve route efficiency. You're able to know exactly the routes you have to take, when you have to take them. Okay, so you can really focus on those contracts that can really bring you more revenue. See, the thing is, all delivery contracts are not created equal. Okay, some contracts bring you more load revenue than others, and those are the contracts you want to focus on. Because if you don't really optimize your route delivery, you are going to waste time. You're not going to increase delivery efficiency. You're going to waste a lot of money on fuel and labor costs. Okay, and but the good thing about delivery software is that you are able to automate key tasks like routing, driver scheduling if you have other drivers helping you, and even last mile delivery. So that's kind of cool because this can help you actually save time and money. Another way I'm able to generate 150K a year for the last 5 years is to actually through the marketing of my business. I market my business like crazy. The same way I reach out to local companies in the tri-state area, the same way I market my company like crazy. Okay, I take every opportunity to market my company, and I'm not even shy about talking about it. Why? Why should I be shy in the first place? I know that I deliver excellent service. I know that my company delivers excellent service. Okay, all the time. So I seize every opportunity to market my business. Okay, and that really has helped me a lot because my reputation usually precedes me. So when I go to a new shipper, for instance, they've already heard about me, and they've already heard about me in good terms. And you want to build that foundation. You want to build that positive foundation before reaching out to local companies, right? So that's something that I do a lot. So the thing is that if you have a good reputation, what I've seen is that basically you have this thing called word of mouth. So you don't have to spend money on PPC ads, on Facebook ads, on Pinterest ads, on YouTube ads, whatever. No, because your customers will do the marketing for you. Your customers will do the advertising for you. Okay, all you got to really care about is actually maintaining the good reputation, maintaining great customer service. That's all. Okay, and one thing for sure, if for one thing I've seen is that I'm not spending that much money on traditional marketing, like local newspapers, radio ads, or even billboards. Those cost like big time. They cost a lot of cash. But I do have I spend a little bit of time and money on something called Google My Business. Okay, and that has helped me a lot because when it comes to local delivery contracts, and I want to insist on the term local delivery contract, you got to really boost, you got to beef up your local SEO. And having a Google My Business page can really help you boost your local SEO. And that's kind of cool. That's important because when people search for local businesses, your name will pop up, like will be the first one to pop up, and that's what you want anyway. One way I'm able to get the 150K in delivery contracts is actually to use a courier website to find delivery contracts every now and then. Now, this is not my primary strategy, but I use it sometimes to actually to cover those down times, those down periods, because don't let anybody fool you. You're gonna have you're gonna have down periods, okay? Because the whole thing is that delivery the delivery business goes through ebbs and flows. Every delivery business in every economy in every country goes through ebbs and flows, right? So you got to have a strategy where you actually continue to generate revenue in down periods, and that's what I do with courier websites. Okay, but I use courier websites very strategically. I'm not really chasing those low revenue loads. No, okay. I'm going for those shippers who really understand the value of what they're shipping and who are willing to pay a little more to actually attract the right bids. Okay, so I'm very careful there. Okay, and the cool thing is that basically, if you have a good reputation, you are able to command a higher price because when the shipper reaches out to you, or when the freight broker or when the dispatcher reaches out to you, you can say, "Listen, I've got positive reviews about my business online or whatever," and you can really direct them to you can even refer them to customers you have actually worked with in the past. And if those customers can vouch for you, if those customers, let's say, can uh, can see how good your services were or are, okay, chances are this is a good criterion to actually charge more. Okay, so this is how I usually I was able to maintain 150K in delivery contracts in the last 5 years. One thing I want you to really understand here is that basically having a profitable delivery contract doesn't happen overnight. It takes time. It takes consistency. But most importantly, it takes the ability to actually complete every single delivery deliver every single delivery with the utmost quality. If you can really put quality in your service, in your delivery service, this is going to help you big time over time. So, in conclusion to this conversation, I spoke to you about how I got 150K in delivery contracts every single year in the last 5 years. I give you a little bit of background and how I did it. Okay. Thank you so much. God bless you. I will see you next time. Until then, remember, stay marvelous.